Top 15 UFC Fights. The Ultimate Fighting Championship has been the home of some of the most thrilling and unforgettable fights in combat sports history. From knockouts to submissions, these fights have left fans on the edge of their seats and cemented the legacies of the fighters involved. Today, we're counting down the top 15 UFC fights of all time. Starting at number 15, we have the fight that started it all: Royce Gracie vs. Ken Shamrock at UFC 1. In this no-holds-barred tournament, Gracie showed the world the power of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as he submitted Shamrock in just 57 seconds. At number 14, we have a fight that had everything: Conor McGregor vs. Chad Mendes at UFC 189. With the interim featherweight title on the line, McGregor had to overcome a tough wrestler in Mendes to keep his unbeaten UFC record intact. Number 13 on our list is another classic from UFC 189, Robbie Lawler vs. Rory MacDonald. This welterweight title fight was an all-out war, with both fighters landing huge shots and showing incredible heart. Coming in at number 12, we have Brock Lesnar vs. Frank Mir at UFC 100. In his second UFC fight, Lesnar avenged his only career loss by dominating Mir and becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. Number 11 on our list is one of the biggest upsets in UFC history: Nate Diaz vs. Conor McGregor at UFC 196. Diaz took the fight on short notice and shocked the world by submitting the Irish superstar in the second round. At number 10, we have one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history: Shane Carwin vs. Brock Lesnar at UFC 116. In the first round, Carwin battered Lesnar with huge punches and looked poised to become the champion. But Lesnar weathered the storm and came back to win by submission in the second round. Number 9 on our list is a middleweight title fight for the ages: Michael Bisping vs. Georges St-Pierre at UFC 217. After a 4-year layoff, St-Pierre returned to the octagon and defeated Bisping to become a two-division champion. Coming in at number 8, we have a fight that was a true showcase of skill: Israel Adesanya vs. Kelvin Gastelum at UFC 236. In a back-and-forth war, Adesanya and Gastelum displayed incredible striking and heart, with Adesanya ultimately emerging victorious. Number 7 on our list is a fight that had everything: Jon Jones vs. Thiago Santos at UFC 239. In a battle for the light heavyweight title, Jones and Santos both landed big shots and showed tremendous heart, with Jones winning a close decision. At number 6, we have a classic fight from the early days of the UFC: Chuck Liddell vs. Randy Couture at UFC 52. In their third and final fight, Liddell knocked out Couture to become the light heavyweight champion. Number 5 on our list is a fight that had everything: Frankie Edgar vs. Gray Maynard III at UFC 136. In a thrilling lightweight title fight, Edgar and Maynard battled to a draw in their previous two meetings, but Edgar emerged victorious in the third fight with a fourth-round knockout. Coming in at number 4, we have one of the greatest upsets in UFC history: Michael Bisping vs. Luke Rockhold at UFC 199. Bisping took the fight on short notice and stunned Rockhold with a first-round knockout to become the middleweight champion. Number 3 on our list is a light heavyweight title fight that went the distance: Jon Jones vs. Alexander Gustafsson at UFC 165. In a back-and-forth battle, Jones narrowly defeated Gustafsson to retain his title. At number 2, we have another instant classic from UFC 236. Dustin Poirier vs. Max Holloway 2. In a thrilling interim lightweight title fight, Poirier and Holloway put on a striking clinic, with Poirier ultimately winning a unanimous decision. And finally, at number 1, we have the greatest UFC fight of all time. Robbie Lawler vs. Rory MacDonald 2 at UFC 189. In a rematch of their first fight, Lawler and MacDonald put on a bloody, brutal war that left both men battered and bruised. In the end, Lawler emerged victorious with a 5th-round TKO. And that's our list of the top 15 UFC fights of all time. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know in the comments below.